New York state law has made it illegal for landlords to reject Section 8 tenants, but insurance companies are denying policies to landlords who have over a certain percentage of their tenants who are taking vouchers. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's going over the whole topic of these states, these municipalities that are making it illegal for landlords to reject Section 8 tenants. Now, I've often said that, hey, this should be up to the landlord. Whether they want to participate in this voluntary program or not shouldn't be, up to discussion by a government agency such as, a state or local agency, okay? It shouldn't be, hey, you have to take these tenants. You have to take these tenants or you're violating the law, and then they send the local attorney general after you. That's what they're doing up in New York State, okay? They're sending attorney generals after landlords who are refusing to rent to Section 8 tenants, and it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong because the federal government, they laid out when they put these plans into place that, hey, these programs are supposed to be voluntary. If a landlord doesn't want to participate, they don't have to. But they went to the extreme, and now they are going after landlords. And you know what? Here's another reason why these landlords are rejecting these tenants, okay? Insurance companies. The insurance companies themselves are saying, hey, these are high risk tenants, and we don't want to cover your property if you have too many of them up in there, okay? Now, insurance companies, they do a ton of research on tenants, okay? They know the risk factors involved on property damage, on insurance claims, etc. And they don't want to pay out all the time to a bunch of landlords who have a bunch of really bad tenants in these properties. So that should tell you something, okay? That should tell you that if the insurance companies see that these Section 8 tenants are high risk, well, do you think that the landlords are making it up when we're saying the same thing? Of course not. Of course not. But, they'll come back and they'll go, oh, no, this is discriminatory or whatever. What a joke, okay? It doesn't matter what facts we show them. It doesn't matter what statistics we tell them. It doesn't matter, because they are dealing with feelings. They're dealing with feelings and not facts. And their feelings say that it's not right to reject a Section 8 tenant, and the facts say differently. The facts say that, hey, these people are higher risk. And yes, landlords are assuming a lot more of the damages, and they're just less likely to pay more damages, etc. when dealing with these tenants. And there's good reason why some landlords just don't want to rent to them. Okay. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. So for the landlords, particularly in New York State, are the insurance companies, are they denying you guys if you have too many Section 8 tenants? Okay, have you heard of this sort of thing happening before? Okay, I haven't personally heard of that here, but I'm just curious if other landlords have heard these stories. Okay, or is this just something that is specific to New York State, or what's going on here with these? The insurance companies, they always seem to find any reason they can to want to deny you. And it doesn't surprise me if there are companies that are doing this. I'm just saying I haven't personally experienced this yet. So anyway, let's get into this article. This article is coming from therealdeal.com, and it says, another reason landlords reject vouchers, insurance denials. New York City multifamily buildings with subsidized tenants often rejected and pay more. Yeah, insurance companies will find any reason to make you pay more. And if they believe that these tenants are higher risk, they're going to be like, hey, here's how much your policy costs. It could be double, it could be triple, who knows how much more, okay? And if you're unable to pass those costs on down to the tenants, like in the case of New York with all of its rent-controlled housing, well, you're screwed, okay? You just don't want to rent to those people because it's a loss. Anyway, let's get into the article. New York City landlords often come under fire for refusing to rent to tenants with housing vouchers, but critics say the problem will persist as long as vouchers trigger problems for building owners. Insurance denials, for one. Insurers in the state frequently ask building owners about voucher usage at their properties and sometimes reject coverage based on those answers, Gothamist reported. That forced landlords into more expensive policies. To compensate, some forego building repairs or pass on higher insurance costs to tenants. And some reject Section 8 and other voucher applicants altogether, which violates fair housing laws. You know, I know they're trying to crack down on all these additional fees and everything, but just imagine if you had to have a Section 8 voucher insurance fee. Okay? I mean, that's the kind of thing that I would be charging. Oh, well, you know what? If I want to put you in my property and it costs me, let's say $200 extra per month to insure you, according to my insurance provider, well, I'm going to pass that cost down to the tenant. But I don't think you can do that up in New York. Okay. That's the kind of thing that they probably frown upon. So, yeah, let's continue. Engage in discriminatory practice and receive insurance coverage and lower premiums, or don't engage in discriminatory conduct and be denied the insurance coverage. National Fair Housing Alliance attorney Morgan Williams told the publication. That's the choice that the landlord would face. Insurance carriers are able to reject buildings that accept vouchers because no law explicitly forbids that. Of 70 property and liability application forms analyzed by Gothamist, 65 asked about voucher holders. Several even set explicit thresholds for the share of subsidized units they would allow before denying coverage. Okay, so yeah, there it goes right there. Insurance companies have thresholds of the number of voucher holders they will allow in the property before they will deny coverage. And, these companies are all about making money. Okay, insurance companies are about making money. So what they have to do is they have to analyze the risks involved with providing insurance coverage to properties that have voucher holders in them. And if they do an analysis and they realize that, hey, if we have too many voucher holders in the property, and the property gets somehow magically gets torn apart more often, and we have to pay out more claims, then they're going to be like, well, simply put, we're not going to allow over that threshold. We're not going to do that because it's going to cost us money. We're not going to make money. Now, I find it hilarious that they allow insurance companies to make that kind of risk assessment, but they don't allow landlords to make that same risk assessment, because us having our properties torn apart is just as bad, as the insurance company having to cover these claims for having a property torn apart. So, yeah, I mean, so the options that they said up above in this above paragraph, they said engage in discriminatory practice and receive insurance coverage and lower premiums, or don't engage in discriminatory conduct and be denied the insurance coverage, right? Well, landlords aren't going to let you know that they are engaging in discriminatory conduct. Okay, they're going to find other reasons to reject those tenants, and that's just the simple fact. Because we're not going to go about our business in a way that is not profitable, just like the insurance company won't do it either, right? Instead, what we will do is we're going to say, oh, you have a voucher, but we have these other reasons to reject you. And that's the smartest thing. We're not going to put it bluntly in our advertisements that we don't want Section 8 tenants, or that voucher holders aren't welcome here. Okay, we're not going to do that. At least the smart ones won't. We're going to find other reasons to reject those tenants, and we're still going to get the lowest cost insurance provider possible, because insurance costs, taxes, all these little things, they add up, and they can cut your profit so quickly. Just as a personal story, I am switching insurance providers on my duplexes down in the Kansas City area right now, because the costs for my former insurance provider had skyrocketed. I'm basically saving a couple of grand a year just by switching insurance providers. So yeah, I mean, we do what we have to do in order to save money. And saving a couple grand a year, it might not sound a lot to the really expensive big insurance providers out there, right? But I'm saving almost $200 a month, and that's enough to completely sway how much money I'm making every year. And that's a big difference. Okay, it's a big difference, and I feel it. Now imagine the insurance provider for a very large multifamily with hundreds of units saying, okay, well, if I accept these Section 8 tenants, too many Section 8 tenants, then I have to pay, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars more per year. Right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, you know, I don't think that the solution to this problem is to force the insurance providers to provide coverage at that same low cost. I think the solution to the problem is don't force landlords to take those tenants, okay? Because that's a losing battle. It's a losing battle, okay? And trying to force landlords to take tenants they don't want, they're always going to find ways to work around that law, okay? And that's the truth.